Welcome to It's Your Date with Destiny with Apostle Vivian and Pastor Jemma Duncan of Divine Destiny Worship Center in Diego Martin. For the next 30 minutes, join us as we take you on a journey of maximizing your potential and realizing your goals through Jesus Christ.
Why is it when you need a miracle, it doesn't happen, but when you least expect it, it happens?
You are married, you have challenges in your relationship, but your spouse is unwilling to accede to any counseling. Is divorce an option?
How does a parent handle a promiscuous child?
What are considered the do's and don'ts of a born-again couple who is not yet married?
There are always more questions than answers. So here is Apostle Jemma.
A very good morning to you. Welcome to Ask Pastor Jemma. I'm happy that you took the time to be with me this morning. And this morning, we're still on the topic, I'm a newlywed, but we have challenges in fully adjusting to each other help. This is the third of our series, and we talked about how to try to make the adjustment easier. There are two fundamental things that would be needful and necessary: effective communication and compromise. If we could get these things working together, then it makes the adjustment easier. I want you to know there'll always be adjusting, and despite how many years you're married, if you stick with me for this entire series, I'll tell you that 40-something years down the road, we are still adjusting because a number of changes happening over the years in a marriage. And every time you move into a new season in marriage, you have to adjust. But we will come to that in a bit. Now, we looked at 7 common issues that we all face, and we dealt with money and finances. We dealt with in-laws, we dealt with schedules and time management. Today, we're going to look at what we call annoying habits. But before we go into that, if you're a first-time viewer, my name is Jemma Duncan. I'm married to Apostle Vivian Duncan, and together we pastor Divine Destiny Worship Center. Our headquarters is in Diego Martin, on the Diego Martin Main Road opposite Sardonynx Drive. We have branches in San Grande, Shoguanas, Faizabad, Rio Claro. We have one in Tobago, one in Antigua, in the event that you have a friend or a family member there. If you're going to adjust to somebody in terms of relationship and marriage long term, everybody has annoying habits. Every single person has habits that, get on your nerves or drive you crazy. And what I've found is we are amazing as human beings. Many times when we first meet the person, it seems to be cute. Some of the things they do, they're acceptable. Yeah, we in love. According to Vivian, we in love. And these habits don't annoy you as much. But after you start to live with that person, it becomes very, very, very annoying. And so, for example, this one, some people can't control, like snoring. So, some people snore like a train, and you literally cannot sleep. My grandfather used to change gears while he's snoring. He's snorting all in between. You go first gear, second gear, them truck. You're going. You literally can't sleep. And so if we love each other, then there has to be some kind of compromise with the snoring if it cannot be resolved medically or whatever else you do. And to the point that, the husband, whoever is the snorer, you probably snuggle a little bit and then creep and go in the next room and sleep, because after a while you really need to sleep. And nothing is wrong if there's an issue like that where you need to just go in another room to sleep. So you snuggle, and for a while, if you have to put your wife to bed or wherever it is, and then you go and snore in the next room or something. So, and then when you wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, you come back. So I fall asleep with you there, and I wake up and you're there, and you went to snore somewhere else. A simple thing like, for example, like you have the flu or cough, and sometimes that person cannot see the night. if the bedroom is next door or adjoining, sometimes if you want a person to sleep, they have to go to work the next day. You know, you probably can just slip over and sleep in the next room. You know, I remember once I had this bad flu and, I mean, he wasn't getting to sleep. I went over and he wouldn't let me close the door. So it was facing each other. He let our bedroom door open. The other said, Jemma, don't close the door. You know, I want to be able to hear. So I might as well stay there if everything you want to hear. You know what I mean? But we have to make some adjustments, right? Some people are just noisy in what they do. For example, we have different bedtimes. So some people, you know, are morning people, some are late night people, whatever your habit is. But the person who is the morning person, you know, morning in the sense that you wake up 4 o'clock in the morning or something, so, but you're noisy. I can't get up 4 o'clock. So you get up 4 o'clock and you're brushing your teeth loud, the water going heavy, you're hitting, slamming, thing, you know what I mean? You're making tea on your head, the kettle whistling, you know, you're making tea and the teaspoon rattling, the wares rattling. Come on. In other words, those are annoying habits. And it might seem like nothing to you, but it's a big thing because remember that person is different. Right? So if I know that I'm an early morning person and I tend to make that kind of a noise, then you have to close the door. Sometimes people, you get up early and you're slamming the door, you're closing it hard, everything is noisy. And some people are just given to noise, you know, and sometimes as your background, everything, you slam the doors, you know, and so on. I have to creep around knowing that my partner is generally not a morning person or a night person, whatever it is, and that person sleeping at that particular time. So if I'm doing something, Vivian is sleeping, my study, I just pull the door in. Because I might want to be playing music softly while I'm working and all of that, but he's sleeping right there. I can't make noise and he needs to rest. So in other words, these little things, nothing is wrong in itself, but it could be very annoying, and as the years go by, it could really bother you, right? So dropping clothing on the floor, wow. You know, I mean, you could follow some people, the track. They just take off something and they drop it here. Sometimes not on the floor, but on a chair. From the time you come in the house, you find something on your shoe somewhere by the kitchen or the front door. The socks somewhere, roll up somewhere. The shirt, and well, from the time I call the clothing, they kind of know who normally guilty of that. You know what I mean? Hello. Right? You take a shower and you come and sit down on the bed and the wet towel on the bed, and those are some of the annoying habits that bother people. Women, well, you know, one of the biggest annoyances is nagging. Everything is talk, you know, and I'm guilty, as many of us are, you know, but then it took me a long time to realize that nagging doesn't work. He ain't listening. He's not taking you on. So how long are you going to talk when he ain't taking you on? Because they tend to know how to turn you off. He not listening. And I can tell you, when he not listening, because afterwards he might ask you something that I say in the nagging. And I say, but I was just quarreling that. So if I just quarrel that and you ask me, I mean, he wasn't listening while I was talking. Right? And so you have to love that person with their quirks. However, it means that we have to communicate and try to adjust, to make adjustments. For example, like I said, try to be quiet, close the door, the bathroom door. You know, you don't have to just close it softly. Make sure that whatever you're doing in the shower, you know, everything not too loud. If you're brushing the teeth, you have to be hawking and spitting loud and all of that, and so that the other person's asleep. You know, you realize that it bothers your partner, your wife, when the clothing is everywhere. Then try picking up after yourself and so on. And I tell women, listen, there are two things that you could do. Either you pick it up and not quarrel, or you leave it. You know, because what we do is we pick it up but we quarrel. Now if you're going to pick it up and quarrel, then he not listen to you when you quarrel, so he leaving it there for you to pick up. You know, so sometimes you leave the shoe on ice seat somewhere, push somewhere, and when you're ready for it, you want to know where it is. How do you mean where it is? You know, what shoe, where? You know, God had to help me sometimes, because I always tell God, don't let lightning strike me because I see the shoes. I had to say, Father, please, I beg you, you know, yeah, looking, you can't find the shoe. Wherever you put it, go look, you know. after a while, you have to be considerate. You know, it's a bother. We talked about it. Ladies don't quarrel, say, you know what I mean? You know, come on. You know, the clothes basket is there. It would be nice for you to just put your things there. If that person has the tendency to drop things like in the kitchen or wherever is the first place of entrance, maybe you should put a little basket there. Buy a nice, cute basket. They have some nice looking ones. And if that is where the person tend to drop things, perhaps it might be a good idea to put something looking nice. So, and then the joke is, I don't want to laugh. Now you buy this nice, cute basket and he'll put it on top the cover instead of opening the basket. So every time you hear the car, just go quickly and open the basket for him so he doesn't put it on top the cover and so on. So in other words, we love that individual and don't allow the quirks to become major. You know, let's talk about it, and if there is a way that we could adjust, you know, to help, then we try to adjust it, right? Avoid condemnation and harsh criticisms. And especially if it's something that, like snoring and so on, that the person cannot control, you know what I mean? You know, there's very little they could do, especially if they try all the different methods that the doctors may say, or, you know, they hear people say, try this, try that, and so on. Remember, it's an entire package, and whatever the little quirks are, whatever these annoying habits are, it comes with the package. So you have to take the whole package. And when he annoys you or she annoys you, think about all the things you love about that individual. And let the annoyance go to the background. Okay. Another factor, and it's a little lower down, number 5 is housework. One of the things that you have to talk about early in the discussions, in the council, before you get married, is division of labor in the house. Now, I'll tell you what happens to us as ladies when we just get married and you have no babies yet. You don't mind doing everything because you're so love and do every single thing. Though, when baby number 1 comes, he's accustomed to being pampered. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't help you in any way. And he may just function as normal, as per normal. He doesn't even realize that he needs to now pitch in a little bit because there's a baby. So most times with baby number 1, all right, we could be baby number 2 and he's still sitting down reading the papers expecting you to bring juice and tea for him. Then, I mean, you really want to bring the juice and do something other than giving him the juice to drink. You know what I mean? So we have to talk, and probably it doesn't dawn on him that you really need help at this stage. So that's something that you have to sit down and say, you know what, before I love you and I didn't mind serving you in that manner then, but now we have 2 children, it's very difficult. I really need you to help me. So either you take the baby while you're sitting down, that's all right, you know, and let me see about this, but you can't have me running, you know, the baby crying, then the toddler pulling me here and there, and you enjoying your juice and your coffee, drinking tea or something. So you have to talk about it, right? Now you've become a team, everybody must contribute to what happens in the household. And even if you decide that this is what generally he will do, there are some men, certain things they're not doing. They ain't washing no clothes, they ain't washing no wares or whatever. It's fine. Whatever you will agree with, if you know that person really don't want or don't like to do things, then you know, what are you going to do about it? However, when illness comes or you have to go to the hospital to have babies and they come out from the hospital or something like that, then gentlemen, you have to wash the wares, you know what I mean? Or get a dishwasher or something. You know, there are certain ways around everything, right? And even when you both agree as to what should be done in terms of shared responsibility, it will be nice to surprise your partner ever so often and do something that generally you don't do. So, as a gentleman, washing is not what I normally will do, but of course you have to pay attention to what your wife is doing, because sometimes you want to surprise her to wash, and listen, it's not a good surprise because you did not sort the clothes, and when she come, the white thing's pink. You know, it's not a good surprise. And, you know, she would have preferred if you didn't help at all, right? But you pay attention to what she does and so on and say, you know what, she came run a little late or she has to do something extra. Well, that would be nice if when she comes home, you did something. And I remember sometimes if you would do that occasionally when the children, I would come home and we had the small children and thing, and I would see some kind of macaroni meat pie in the oven already, and that's nice because I'm thinking, what am I going to cook this evening or something? So when I come home and meet something already cooked, which is really very nice, you know. So sometimes as a wife, you could also do something nice for him and so on. And although it's not your duty, some people really kind of legalistic and say, no, that's yours, that's mine. No, there are times when we could, you know, be nice to each other. One of the problems that some people have is weight gain and personal hygiene. Some people, it's a major issue. Especially when it's always, almost always men who have issues with women when you gain weight. We accept our men folk anyhow they look. You marry him thin and with hair, and he gets bald and we love the bald head. You marry him with six-pack, and the six-pack become, I don't know, like a whole case. And we love them. We love you with your punch. We love you just how you're looking. But you have a problem with us and the weight gain and all of that. No, you have to know the person that you marry and what it means to that individual. So I am saying you really have to try to see how best you please that individual if that is a huge thing for him. Now they say, gentlemen, that in order to have a sense of what your wife will look like, look at her mother. So sometimes it don't always work. So, but you know, it's a good guide, and see if you can handle mommy in the future, right? If you want to maintain a healthy lifestyle, if being slim is important to you, why don't you do it together? So try to maintain a healthy lifestyle, walk or run together. Sometimes one person walking, one person running. You know, whoever it is, the runner of two of you maybe can't run, you know, road run, but one person could run. So you go ahead and run, right? We go around the savannah, I'm walking around, you running, you make as many turns as you can, and I can only make 2 or 1. But that will help you. If you're talking about diet, then all of us could eat the same thing together. So if you want to help your partner maintain weight loss because it's important to you, then why not try to join them in eating that same kind of food? Of course, you could have something ever so often, you know, and that you just enjoy, simply for enjoying and all of that. But as a practice, if both of you practice eating the same kind of food, it makes it easier for the person who has to lose the weight. Now, in terms of personal hygiene, sometimes you can become very comfortable in the relationship. Clean is more attractive. Foul body odor is a turn off, and I don't think we need to tell you a lot more than that. Now, come on now. Before you took care of yourself, you used to smell really good. And suddenly, because we get married, I don't mean that I could, you know, come and not smell nice. And, you know, gentlemen, you have to know the lady, she a little picky. She don't like you sweaty. You know, come on, then take the shower. You know, it works, however, it works for two of you. But some women, some of us are a little extreme too. You know, don't be too extreme. I've known women talk to me and they say, I mean, for example, like we go to church like at night and you shower before you go to church. Now they expect the husband to also shower. You must shower before you come to bed. And I'm saying I can't see that as compulsory unless he's the preacher and he sweat, you know. And even so, you know, if the preacher want to come to bed, that's me. I'm talking about me. I don't really care, you know. I love you anyhow, right? But if I just come to church, it's 7 o'clock, I just bathe, you know, I reach 10 o'clock home. But some people, you must shower. You can't come in that bed and you didn't shower and you make a federal relationship. He don't want to shower. He's tired. And I'm saying don't make an issue over with that kind of a thing, you know. However, both of you could kind of sort yourself out and so on and so forth. The person not smelly, they ain't stinky, you know what I mean? That is what you talk about. You know, you have to deal with, I mean, we talk about body odor, we talk about your mouth, you know, it's intimacy you're talking about. We sleeping together, we hugging, we touching, you know, it's important because it's kind of hard to bear, you know, so we need to take care of our physical bodies in order to enhance intimacy. Again, I really hope I helped you. These things are simple, but not because we married a long time. I mean, I could ignore my personal appearance and hygiene. It will always be important. As important as those things were when we were courting, they also are equally important. However, we have to be careful that when our body changes, that you don't reject your partner simply because there's a physical body change. You know, some people do that. They don't want you because you get fat or you get this or something happen to you and all of that. When we take the vows gives the idea that, listen to me, changes could come, but I must love you and stay with you and be committed to this relationship despite whatever changes there are. As far as it lies between you to try to adjust, then we do that. But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater when something happens, because what I've found is, in my personal experience, that many times you leave somebody just for physical appearance, go with somebody who looks better. Usually that person who looks better is usually a land back at the mercy of the person you left in the first case. It happens over and over, and they have to have God in them now to help you, and they look in the exact same way you left them. You know, so I just throw in a little caution here.
There's no hurt that can outlive the grace you freely give. It's the raging flood that covers us for the thoughts that come to decay. You've sent love to strip them away, and you've left the truth that we're free in you. There is no bondage, every chain is broken. There is no bondage, Jesus.
Say there's no hurt I can outlive. Say the grace that covers us. Yes, for the thought.
Pleasant good morning to you. Have you ever said to yourself, I really wish I can understand the Bible better? I read the Bible, but I simply do not understand it. I wish I knew enough to share my faith. Sometimes I sit in the pew and I don't quite understand because the pastor uses so many scriptures. If you said any of these things, today I have the answer and the solution to your problem. My name is Jemma Duncan. My husband and I are the pastors of Divine Destiny Worship Center with our headquarters in Diego Martin. And we have a program called the School of the Bible that I would like to introduce to you today. School of the Bible is a one-year program for simple, regular ordinary people who sit in the pews, whose only desire is to understand the Bible better. Since 2014, we've catered for a wide range of persons as young as 10 years old and the people into their 80s. So it's something that the average person can really understand and grasp. Although we cater primarily for people in the pews, we've had a few pastors who came and they felt that they should just sharpen up their information base on the Word of God. Since 2014, we've helped almost 400 persons, ranging from young to way into the 80s. The program lasts for a year. Every Tuesday from 7 to 9 we meet, and for 4 Saturdays for the entire year. Every quarter we have what we call a quarterly assessment meeting. The quarterly is from 9 to 4. We also have online facilities, and we've been really blessed. We have had people from USA, Canada, Europe, the Caribbean countries, Tobago, and we actually have what we call a local online group or groups of people who cannot come to what we call in class in Diego Martin. It doesn't matter where you are, you can access School of the Bible. We have lectures, we have group reports, individual book reports, movies, training in all our presentations that we call 5-minute sermonette, PowerPoint presentations. I mean, you name it, we have it. And we cover a wide range of topics. Our main resources are the Bible and the 7 manuals, and I'm going to just quickly give you a sense of the manual. Volume 1 contains the overview of the Bible and the first 5 books of the Bible, called the books of Moses, the books of the law, or the Pentateuch. It goes from Genesis to Deuteronomy. Volume 2 are what we call the books of history, from Joshua to Esther. Volume 3 are the books of poetry, from Job to Song of Solomon. Volume 4, books of prophecy, and the books of prophecy are divided into the minor prophets, major prophets. The major prophets are from Isaiah to Daniel, minor prophets, Hosea to Malachi. When you come to the School of the Bible, you will get a further understanding as to why they are called minor and major. Shifting into the New Testament, Volume 5 are the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and the one historical book, the book of Acts. Volume number 6 are letters of Paul. They are called the Pauline epistles, from Romans to Philemon. And volume number 7 are the general letters written by a variety of authors, from Hebrews to Jude. And then the one book of prophecy in the New Testament, the book of Revelation. Other resource materials are available on request. We have them there. If you wish for them, they're not compulsory. You can request them and we'll order them for you. We want to give you a little example of what some of the volumes look like. And so we have the cover page for the overview of the Bible, the cover page for the book of Genesis, and the cover page for the comparative study of the Gospel. Call us at 633-3780 for further information. And this information will be for 2020. A brochure will be sent to you with all the information you will need. See you in School of the Bible in 2020. I don't want you to ever forget what Jesus says. He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except by me. God bless you real good.